The central Auvergne region, a vast swathe of undulating wild scenery. It's in this part of France more than any other that the natural elements, especially water, have shaped the history and activities of its inhabitants. This is Saint Nectaire, a spa town with a glorious past. In its heyday, people would come from all across France to relish in its waters. But when the bathhouses closed in the 1970s, many buildings fell into disrepair. Water that once elegantly flowed now drips from the walls. Rich in minerals, it's even fossilised this old staircase. Elisabeth CROZET is fighting for this 19th century building to be preserved and placed on a list of France's historic monuments.
The most important thing to do is to dry the building out. We must repair the entrance, the glass roof, and modernise and drain the spring to make sure the water flows out of the building in the proper way.
60 kilometres away in Châtel-Guyon, the old baths are still standing in the heart of the town. These buildings would have succumbed to the same fate as those in Saint Nectaire, but the town council here has decided to act. In the coming years, the future of the traditional spas of the Auvergne will depend on the goodwill of locals. The Auvergne is also a natural habitat, but not one for the faint-hearted. The Puy de Dôme is a relatively young volcano at around 10,000 years old. Its summit is home to a permanent mountain weather station. This somewhat gusty environment is where scientist Aurélie works every day. She's studying atmospheric phenomena, and particularly the clouds, to understand them better.
These are extreme conditions, Aurélie.
Yeah. We often experience Antarctic or Arctic conditions up here. In fact, last year we tested some buoys destined for the Arctic that stayed here for several months. They're now drifting in the Arctic with sensors on top. So yes, conditions here are extreme.
Elsewhere in the region, conditions are a little calmer. A stone's throw from Lake Pavin is the Soucy Cave. It's off limits to the general public, but scientists and potholers are working hand in hand to understand its origins.
Well, we're here, and it's unclear how this hollow came about and how it works. There are very many clues that indicate there were large movements of water that moved the clay, pebbles and sand within it. It seems there was a sort of giant fall of water that occurred a couple of times, but we don't know why.
Edouard Alfred Martel, the father of French caving, discovered this abyss back in 1892. It's now explored twice a year. The adventure begins 22 metres below ground in this large cavern, which is 60 metres in diameter. The temperature here rarely exceeds 4 degrees Celsius. The cold makes any underwater exploration difficult. At a constant temperature of 1.9 degrees, the water slows down movements, and the scientists are also hampered by the poor visibility. They can see just a few centimetres ahead. This trio also know every corner of the countryside. Yves, Bernard and Gégé all grew up here.
Every week I come up here, sometimes twice a week. It all reminds me of my childhood.
Battered by strong westerly winds, they've come to La Fontaine-Salée at the foot of the Sancy mountains. It's not unusual for hikers to come across a natural spring in the Auvergne, but this one is the well-kept secret of these three friends. It might be well hidden, but it has many benefits.
It could be worse.
It's good. It's not too strong. It's good.
A lot of people come up here hoping to find this, but they pass by, they cross over the bridge nearby, and they never find it. We don't tell many people exactly where it is. Maybe to those people we like, it depends.
After 2 hours of walking, the friends take a break. This small cottage, known as a buron, hidden away in the mountains with no access road, is the perfect spot for a secluded picnic. Time to enjoy the beauty of the vast, savage and untamed landscapes of the Auvergne.